Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Business Spotlight interview series. Today it is my pleasure to host Glenda Willett. Glenda is Business Development Manager for Ulster Rugby here in Northern Ireland. And Glenda, delighted you could join us. How are you today?
Great, the very best, Richard. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you share with us a wee bit about who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it for?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm Glenda Willett. I'm Business Development Manager at Ulster Rugby, have been for just over a year now. So yeah, moved from corporate world, had been with corporate law firms for over 10 years and decided to make the leap into professional sport. So it was a slight adjustment, but really positive, really good. Have worked in property in the past before as well. So yeah, like to keep it moving and keep it different. So but Ulster Rugby has been, yeah, it's been a really positive move.
Very good. And when you were growing up, is this something that you always wanted to do, or is this something you just happened to drift into, or the door opened at the right time?
Yeah, goodness, no, definitely not. I think if you'd asked me a lot of years ago, would I be working for a rugby club? I probably would have said catch yourself on. But no, do you know what? In hindsight, I probably always knew I was going to be in a very energetic environment. And, I wanted a job that was going to engage me with people every day and help me build relationships and develop all the exciting good stuff out. So yeah, maybe not specifically rugby, but in a business development marketing type role, yeah, most definitely.
And what's been your biggest learning since you've sort of been on the business journey?
I suppose it's just, I'm I find that we sometimes don't give ourselves credit in this country for how resilient we are and how strong we are and how
Yeah,
adaptable we are. And I think learning wise, yeah, over the years I've just learned that guess what? We can change paths, we can react quickly, we can move with the tide and we are super and I am super resilient. And yeah, I've enjoyed learning and just being more confident with that.
fantastic. Resilient, really interesting word, and resilience. Those come up continually when I have these
Really?
podcasts, and yeah, it's something that any person who goes into business needs to have as part of their makeup, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, that. And I think probably the other word that always comes up is agility, and
Yeah.
particularly, I suppose, over the last number of years, we've all had to learn to become more agile and just adaptable to different environments. And, even when I think back pre-COVID, the digital world was really only starting to take off. And certainly, when I started out, it was, typewriters when you were doing your invoices and makes me sound really old, but
To
you
say
know,
no, no chance. Can't believe
so
that.
yeah, I think becoming adaptable and as you say, resilient comes up all the time and just agile, and learning to kind of move and roll with the punches and come out stronger and better and learn from it.
Fantastic. Great shares, Glenda. And it's interesting you say about typewriters. Yeah, there was the old typewriter and then there was the electronic typewriters
Oh
with the
yeah.
sort of like golf ball on it.
The
And
fancy ones, but
yeah,
it was still a nightmare if you made a mistake, Richard.
yeah. And I remember the good old faxes,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
Uh,
Totally. I think I tell you there was probably the odd fax machine still running around one of the law firms I was working in not that
okay.
long ago.
Yeah, yeah. So change days. So
Exactly.
again, during this journey, what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself personally?
Personally, well, as I say, I'm probably more confident and resilient than I
Yeah,
gave myself credit for. I
yeah,
think, I've learned that I can adapt to different environments. It was pretty scary moving from corporate law firms that I knew inside out. And,
sure.
I
Yeah.
knew how to deal with lawyers and how to deal with clients in the corporate space and, within global companies and move into sports then it was probably slightly frightening that it was a completely different environment, or I thought it was going to be a completely different environment. But actually, even at not at the start of your career, you can adapt, you can move with the times, and you can learn new skills and skill sets, which has been brilliant.
I was going to say, with building that resilience and having that agility and being able to pivot to different markets,
Yeah.
what sort of key skills and things have you done to develop your those attributes?
Yeah, I suppose I was quite lucky. Now, I should probably be completely honest in that I did have an interest in rugby and I understood
That was the men in shorts.
exactly. Um, so yeah, there were certain attractions there already, pre-joining Ulster Rugby, but yeah, it was it's been different, but I think the skills that I've learned, just dealing with different types of people, players and professional sports people have different focuses. Their attention span's different. They react different to certain situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, but every day's a school day. But yeah, I think just dealing with people in different ways and understanding, yes, the game, but understanding the business side of it as well. We have a very strong commercial team. And yes, our professional players are at the heart and soul of what we do, whether it's senior men, senior women's. It's all very important, but actually the commercial function as well within that business is crucial to allow the players to do their best and vice versa. When they're performing well, the commercial function can really flourish too.
Of course, yeah, and obviously, Ulster Rugby is such a big brand across the province, and
Yeah.
there's so many people are glued to it or
Yeah,
turn up to support it. And in our country, it doesn't matter what the weather is; they'll be along there supporting. So that must be real encouragement.
it is, and I think the joy of Ulster Rugby too is, sports for everyone, obviously. But I think particularly with us, it's such an inclusive club, and it's such an inclusive sport. It is genuinely for everybody. Gender, where it doesn't matter where you come from, what school you went to. It is genuinely and your ability as well for everybody. And I think what I found quite surprising when I joined Ulster Rugby was the depth of what we do. It's not all about the kind of the glitzy professional game. Yes, that's amazing and it's an incredible night and it's phenomenal for the supporters and the team and it's crucial. But we do a lot of work within communities, within kids sport, within disability sport. We're very involved at a really deep level within the community. Actually we've just launched our new and our own charity foundation, which
Okay.
will help raise funds to pump into those areas of the community that need it most. So
Brilliant.
I think, and I had been a fan for years and yeah, probably quite ashamed to say I didn't understand what really went on across the province.
Yeah.
Um, that wasn't just the Friday night glitzy games, um,
Yes. Yeah.
at Kingspan. So yeah, and I think we're lucky as well. We're the largest right holders in Northern Ireland within the province of Ulster, but we've also got the biggest followers, that within any sort of sport in Northern Ireland. So,
Yes. Yeah.
phenomenal numbers that we have, over 4.4 million cumulative TV audience across the season. We might have over, I think at the minute, well, last count we had over 550,000 social media followers. So, we've a lot of followers and across the globe too, which was the other thing that when
Oh,
I
sure.
started,
Yeah.
I sort of probably thought it was quite I don't know, an Ulster thing that but actually, our followers are global, Australia,
Yeah.
USA, Canada, Singapore, you name it, so that's been interesting too, just delving a bit deeper into that.
Yeah, I was going to say probably half of my paternal family is in the States,
Yeah.
that side of the family, uh,
Uh-huh.
including my brother. So, he'll be jumping up and down in front of the TV when Ulster's playing.
Yeah, exactly. There's a real sense of community, I think, no matter where you kind of go, and you take it with you, which is lovely. And we're very lucky to have that kind of and that confidence in our supporters that are going to keep following us and supporting us. And yeah, through good times and bad times, because sport has a habit of surprising you most days. It's very
Totally.
unpredictable.
And interesting, you mentioned good and bad times because I was going to say, what have been like the biggest issues that you've had to overcome in your business journey?
Suppose I think throughout my career, probably not just specific to Ulster Rugby, but I think you know, having been in very male dominated industries, whether it was property or the car industry or sport, I think, you know, it's very easy to become and adapt that strong male persona. Whereas I think I've learned that actually, you know, you don't need to adapt to that environment. You know, you can be yourself, you can bring your natural energy. And I think we're very lucky that now we're in a really good position that we can do that as females in business. You know, there's not that same issue where you felt you had to have that male energy to be seen or heard or make an impact. So I think, yeah, although it could have possibly been an issue in the past, I think actually it's been nice to overcome that and be confident that going forward, you know, that's only going to, yeah, get stronger and better as we bring, you know, other females up through these industries.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, really important. And you know, having been in business over 30 years myself, I've seen a massive swing and change. And
Yeah,
it's great that you know, now people can bring their authentic selves to
like,
to the room, you know, because previously there were so many masks or identities that you had to try and fit into. Whereas I think the whole business world has started to move towards being far more authentic.
100%, yeah, and it's a very nice shift to be part of and to see. And I think even specifically within kind of, I suppose, the female leaders and within that kind of the different industries, I think it's been lovely to see women encourage women and bring up women. You know, there's so many wonderful organisations now, like Women in Business in Northern Ireland, and oh, there's so many to even mention. But you know, just that having females mentors and leaders that are guiding, you know, the next generation up through is really positive. And yeah, it's
Sure.
certainly yeah, it's going the right direction.
Oh, totally, indeed. So then on that, who inspires you in business? There must be lots of people inspire you, but maybe just follow on that thread.
Oh
Some of the
goodness.
ladies.
I know, do you know, somebody asked me this recently as well. Yeah, there's so many, and I'm nearly afraid to mention names in case I forget somebody. But I suppose on a personal level, my sister runs her own business more or less, nearly single-handedly with her own family, and you know, and
Fantastic.
as a shout out, Homes Interiors. But yeah, you know, she's been phenomenal. You know, she's just real strength. She's just shown incredible strength of character, bringing the business, you know, to a level that's extraordinary. And friends, I have so many friends. I have to say, Richard, I'm so lucky that have their own businesses. You know, they're some are creative, some are, you know, I have a lot of friends who have their own financial services type businesses.
Yes.
So you know they're just brilliant inspirations day to day. I think probably from a mentor point of view, Alvina Graham has been, you know, a continual kind of thread for me throughout my career. I was lucky to be introduced to Alvina through A&L Goodbody, actually, who I was working for at the time. And yeah, she's just, you know, the epitome of boss lady, hashtag boss lady, who, you know, she's done it all. She's seen it all. She sits on numerous boards now, but like we were saying, you know, she has that strength to bring other females up
Yeah.
behind her, you know, and really guide them and mentor them. And I think that's a great quality to have. And so yeah, and I suppose inspiration wise, I can't really forget my husband either, Richard, or I'll be in trouble, won't I? But yeah, no, my husband probably didn't take the traditional route
Yeah.
to, you know, didn't do the uni thing, didn't take the traditional route through education, but now is regional director for a FTSE 100 company. And so I suppose, yeah, I look at him and just think, do you know what? Everybody has a different path,
Yeah.
and it's incredible what you can achieve with hard work and determination and bit of grit. And yeah, so many. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody, but yeah,
Sure.
lot.
Sure.
I'm very lucky.
No, fantastic. Great shares. And you know, alongside those people that you've mentioned and inspirational characters in your life, any sort of favorite books or podcasts that you turn to for motivation, inspiration?
Oh, Richard, I'm a bit dreadful with the motivational books, I have to admit. I am a real avid reader, but more kind of crime thrillers and
Okay, yeah.
silly nonsense that's not going to exactly, you know, it might give you a few sleepless nights. It's not going to motivate you, but
It probably
I'm
gives you some
somebody,
headspace from coming out of a busy business day.
yeah, exactly. Just a bit of a release. But yeah, funny, somebody in the office recommended a book recently to me, so I've bought it, Atomic Habits. I think
Yes,
it's
yeah.
quite well known. So I've bought it and it's sitting in the on the kitchen table, ready to go. So once I finish my latest crime novel, I'll start on it and hopefully get a bit of inspiration from that.
Oh, it's great. It's great. You'll like the way he builds habits on top of each other and
Oh,
links
really?
to other things. So, for example, if you have a habit of brushing your teeth,
Hmm.
then link another habit to that at the same sort of time, just before or just after it, helps
Okay.
you build habits.
Oh,
So
that's incredible.
it's
Yeah, looking
just
forward
just
to that.
just things like that. It's a good read.
Yeah, good.
So uh in the world of Ulster Rugby and business, what do you see the future looking like and main challenges going forward?
Do you know what, Richard? We're in a quite a unique position actually at the minute within the club. It's a really exciting time, genuinely. We have a new CEO coming on board. We've just recently appointed a new head coach. The team is really strong. You know, it feels very collaborative and you know, there's definitely strength in growing together. And you know, there will be challenges as a club. We are continuing to strive to be more sustainable and grow more revenue. Our lead sponsor Kingspan, we've just recently announced that we're sort of parting ways. So we're now kind of working on the next stadium naming rights sponsor, which is a phenomenal opportunity. I don't think there's anything really like it in the country, but yeah, so you know, it's not going to be an easy task, and we work with some really exciting and interesting businesses, and we want to grow those partnerships. And yeah, so lots happening, and all very exciting. But I would say, yeah, it'll not be without its challenges. And yeah, well, with the Challenge Cup this weekend, so if we can, immediate challenge would be to win the match against
Win the
Montpellier
match.
at the weekend. But long term, yeah, you know, we'll want a new name and rights sponsor that's going to really elevate the stadium, and you know, and we'll need to. We're constantly improving and growing the stadium itself, and I think yeah, we just need to work on being more innovative and continuing that improvement, which is constant. But you know, it's a hard enough slog to kind of keep going and increasing that revenue whilst maintaining a really high standard and of play, and you know, hospitality and all the other good things that go along with it. So yeah, I would say we'll have a few challenges, but it'll all be very exciting. And yeah, yeah,
At the
looking forward to it.
at the same time as being challenges, there are opportunities.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know what? And I think it does feel very much like every challenge that we're coming against at the minute is a real opportunity. You know, having a new name and rights sponsor is obviously, you know, it's a difficult enough time for everybody, but it's such a huge opportunity as well, you know, to do
Sure.
something very special within the province and within
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sport. And, you know, we're the governing body across the province. So it's, you know, it'll be a real opportunity for somebody. And yeah, we're looking forward to growing that.
Fantastic. And every success in that
Thank
endeavor
you.
and the continued endeavors going forwards.
Yeah.
So, Glenda, what would you say to anyone who's thinking about getting into the business world?
Oh, just be yourself, you know, take every single opportunity that there is going. Don't be afraid. You know, I think we sort of touched on it earlier, but you know, that quote, our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our biggest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And it's so relevant, I think, in this part of the world. You know, don't be afraid of how good you can be. Just, you know, go for every single opportunity and do it to the best of your ability and be your best, most authentic self doing it.
Excellent advice. Really, really great. Look, really appreciate all of your sharing and all of the wee nuggets that you've shared with us. As a last one, you know, and I know in your case you wouldn't have to wind the clock back very far, but you know, in my case it's slightly different. If you could wind back time, wind the clock back to when you were 18, what's the best piece of advice you would give that 18-year-old Glenda?
I suppose just don't be afraid to take chances. You know, I was a complete grafter at 18 and I loved work. but I was probably quite risk averse and played it very safe with everything, with education and jobs and different things. So yeah, just take the chances when you can and make the most of them.
And like the common phrase you hear across the province, go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's us now. Go for it.
That's it. Very good. Look, Glenda, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for your sharings, and real pleasure to have you on today. And all the very best with everything you do in the future.
Thank you, Richard. Lovely speaking to you.
You too. Thank you.